Good evening. Once again, we're gathered together to celebrate the lives of the crew of Apollo 1, Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chappell. We want to take this opportunity to say thank you to the people whose presence and help that made this evening possible. Firstly, Betty Grissom and her sons, Mark and Scott. Betty's drive and determination are legend, and we wish to recognize her efforts to make this yearly gathering possible. Also, Lowell and Roman Grissom, brothers of Gus Grissom. With us tonight, we also have Bonnie Bear, the daughter of Ed White, and also Martha Chappell, the wife of astronaut Roger Chappell, and her daughter Cheryl. For all family members, launch team members, and NASA family and Air Force family, we thank you for being here tonight. We also wish to thank Colonel Walt Jackman, Vice Commander of the 45th Space Wing, for graciously making these facilities available. Captain John Sager, Commander of the Naval Ordnance Test Unit here at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. Dr. Sonny Witt of the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station for marshaling all the support and organization for this gathering. For their presence this evening, we also thank Mr. Robert Cabana, Center Director of the John F. Kennedy Space Center, Air Force Chaplain Jonathan Burt, and also this evening we have Mr. Thad Altman, Chairman of the Astronaut Memorial Foundation. And this evening, Mr. John Winchester and Babatunde Turnage will provide the musical accompaniment for this evening's ceremonies. Please stand as we are led in prayer by Air Force Chaplain Major Jonathan Hurt.
Just before I pray, I wanted to share a thought with you. As I was thinking about what I might say this evening, a word just kept coming to my mind over and over, that was courage. The word courage. And I found a quote, it's actually by Billy Graham. He said, "Courage is contagious. When a brave man takes a stand, the spines of others are also stiffened." And I think that's appropriate for what we remember here. These were brave men, and because of their courage and because of their sacrifice, many, many other men and women were able to do some brave things and explore some new territories. And so with that thought in mind, if you'd like to join me in a moment of prayer, let's do so together. Almighty God, our ever-present help in times of trouble, our constant guide and source of all strength, I humbly ask for your blessing on this ceremony this evening. Stir our hearts with the memory of those who perished on this launch pad. Although 50 years have passed, we declare today again that we have not forgotten, nor will we ever forget our brave brothers. Lieutenant Colonel Virgil Gus Grissom, Lieutenant Colonel Edward White, and Lieutenant Commander Roger Chappell. Fellow Americans whose bravery and sacrifice inspired generations of space explorers, scientists, military members, and truly our entire nation. Their sacrifice led to modifications that paved the way for many others to safely launch out and make discoveries that have enhanced all of humanity. Thank you for each of them. May they rest in peace. And God, we also take time to consider the many lives forever changed by this tragic event 50 years ago. Please continue to comfort these men's families. Although they have a rich heritage because of their loved ones' service, nothing can replace the time lost with them and the years that might have been. As has often been quoted, though, better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. And with that thought, we thank you for the precious time these men had on this planet. With men of such caliber and quality of spirit, even a short time with them is a treasure and a gift. Bless all those who have grieved over these years. Heal their broken hearts and fill them with warm thoughts today. Join our hearts to theirs in remembering and grieving. And out of our shared pain, strengthen our resolve to continue to bravely explore and pave the way for others to follow our footsteps, just as they did. I ask all this in your name. Amen.
Please be seated. To represent the hopes and prayers of all of us here, 3 commemorative candles will now be lit. Representing Command Pilot Gus Grissom are Cody Grissom, his grandson, Carly Sparks, his granddaughter, and Jessica Sparks, Gus's great-granddaughter. Gus Grissom was born in Mitchell, Indiana. He held a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from Purdue University. He earned his Air Force pilot's wings in 1951 and flew 100 combat missions of his career. He also attended the test pilot school at Edwards Air Force Base in California and went on to serve as a test pilot at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, rolling up some 4,600 hours of flight time during his career. He was selected by NASA as an astronaut in 1959, flew on Liberty Bell 7 in July of 1961, flew as a commander on Gemini 3 in March of 1965. Gus Grissom was the command pilot for Apollo 1. Representing the senior pilot, Ed White, his granddaughter, Jacqueline Howard. Ed White was born in San Antonio, Texas. He held engineering degrees from the United States Military Academy at West Point and from the University of Michigan. He undertook his flight training in Florida and Texas and flew in a fighter squadron in Germany for 3.5 years. He attended test pilot school at Edwards Air Force Base in California in 1959 and was assigned as a test pilot to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. He rolled up some 3,000 hours of flight time during his career and was selected by NASA as an astronaut in 1962. He was a pilot on board Gemini 4 in 1965 and conducted the first American spacewalk. Ed White was a senior pilot for Apollo 1. Representing pilot Roger Chaffee is his great-nephew, Matt Duquette. Roger Chaffee was born in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He held a bachelor's degree in aeronautical engineering from Purdue University. He enlisted in the United States Navy in 1957 and served with Total Squadron 62 in Jacksonville, Florida. He accumulated 2,300 hours of flight time during his career. He was selected by NASA as an astronaut in 1963. He was tasked to work on several spacecraft systems in the Apollo branch of the astronaut office. Roger Chaffee was the pilot for Apollo 1. Once again, we gather together to honor and remember the crew of Apollo 1, Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee. Over the past 50 years, all of us here have given so much thought to what happened here on that day. But I sometimes imagine what the flight of Apollo 1 may have been like. And I think of what the crew may have felt during those 14 days in orbit.